This is KMIR's special news coverage of President Obama in the Valley.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this special coverage of President Obama's 5th trip to the Coachella Valley. I'm Gino Lamont, alongside KMIR News political analyst Hank Plant. And Hank, this trip a little different than the previous 4.
It is. It's shorter. President is coming in about, well, we have sighted Air Force One right now.
Air Force One is in our airspace
right
as we
above
speak.
Palm Springs Airport, and he's landing here in just a couple of minutes. He's in and out. He's leaving tomorrow on Father's Day, so just enough time to golf in whatever the temperature is supposed to be here in Palm Springs.
And obviously, the heat is not something this president's afraid of, because he's been here 3 times now in June, and every time well above 105.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you and I watched him get off the plane last time. He was dressed in khakis. He went to Sunnylands in Rancho Mirage, changed into a pair of shorts, and hit the links. One of your competitors had staked out where they thought he was going to be staying in Rancho Mirage. He didn't even go to the house. He went right to the links. He loves to golf.
And Air Force One has just now touched down here at Palm Springs International Airport. And again, coming in just for what is a quick golf visit. The family, the First Lady and the First Daughters in Europe right now on vacation. And the President taking this opportunity after fundraisers and personal appearances in Los Angeles and San Francisco to, as Hank mentioned, swing through the Coachella Valley for what I'm assuming will be a round of golf today, another early round tomorrow morning, and then back out of town.
I know for a fact he's having dinner with some old friends tonight, Saturday night. There's a gentleman in Palm Springs who's a friend of mine who worked in the law firm where President Obama and Michelle Obama once worked. And he has a couple of, I think, 3 old high school friends who live here, which is probably one of the draws here. He gets to see his pals and just let his hair down a little bit.
Yeah, a very little bit, too, on what has been a rough week, even by presidential standards. A little bit of grief. Given to the president for this visit because of the recent tragedies. But as we've said so often, if the president only took vacations when nothing bad happened anywhere in the world, the man would have to work 7 days a week for his entire career.
Yeah, it's it is always something. Unfortunately, it's the new normal. It's the kind of world we live in, and the president needs to get away. Whoever it is in office, whether it's Barack Obama or somebody else, needs to relax and get away. So the president will be met today by Congressman Raul Ruiz and Tribal Chairman Jeff Gruby from the Agua Caliente band of Cahuilla Indians. And also Rancho Mirage Mayor Dana Hobart is here. I think those are the 3 dignitaries.
That's right. Yeah, and we did notice, too, that Congressman Ruiz brought his wife and their twin babies, Sky and Sage, so the president can meet the babies.
They're right over our shoulder here in the press tent.
Well, they're trying to keep them in the shade because it is warm out here today, that's for sure, and especially out on the tarmac. Air Force One is now circling around and will shortly be making its way right to in front of where we're standing at this hour.
Now, one thing we won't see today is the Beast.
No.
That beautiful big Cadillac that he rides in, and you can tell us why that is.
Well, whenever he's on a personal visit, the president rides in SUVs. And 2 of his 5 visits to the Valley have been official business, and that's when they bring the Beast and 2 other limousines, and they'll have the presidential seal and the American flag on the front of those cars. There's now 5 SUVs lined up, all black Suburbans, but there will be no official indication that the president is inside, no seal of the president, no American flag on the front, because this is a personal visit. This is vacation time, and he's not here in his official capacity as president of the United States.
So, one of the questions you always hear is he comes here so often, everybody wonders, will he buy a place here? Will this be one of their homes when he leaves office after the next election in 2016. What are you hearing? Anything?
I'm not hearing anything because the presidential couple can't buy a multi-million-dollar resort home while in office.
Yeah.
But since the last time we were here, we do know this library will be in Chicago.
Yeah.
So they'll undoubtedly have a home there because
well, they still have a house there.
Right.
Yeah. But they're going to have a vacation house.
At least one, I'm sure.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, he really does love it here, and I don't recall any sitting president who has visited this valley as often as he did. We've had plenty who have spent time here, and of course our beloved Jerry Ford and Betty Ford made their home here.
Right.
A few others lived here afterwards. Vice President Spiro Agnew lived at the Springs in Rancho Mirage. But I don't.
And we do know, that Ronald Reagan came every year, but it was once a year on New Year's to spend it with the Annenbergs.
Yeah. So I personally would not be surprised to see the Obamas buy a place here. We don't know for sure where he's staying. My guess is that it's the place where he allegedly stayed last time, which is the Rancho Mirage home of Ambassador James Costos and his partner, Michael Smith, who is the White House decorator.
Right, which I think is a safe assumption because we've heard no other arrangements being made, and since they have stayed there 3 of the 4 times, one time staying at Sunnylands itself, we can, I think, safely assume that he'll be in one of those 2 places, most likely.
And do you know what a sign of the times it is that the President of the United States stays with a gay couple, and it's not news.
And it doesn't raise an eyebrow. That's tremendous.
I think it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's absolutely tremendous. Yeah. Air Force One is now pulling into the space where the President will eventually depart. And again, as we've been mentioning, greeting him will be the mayor of Rancho Mirage, Dana Hobart. Congressman Raul Ruiz will be greeting the President as well, as will Jeff Gruby, chairman of the Agua Caliente tribe.
Now look at this magnificent plane. I want to talk about the plane for a minute, Gino. First of all, as you know, any plane that the President is on is Air Force One.
Right.
The title goes with the person, not with the aircraft. But this is a Boeing 747-200 series. There are actually 2 of them. This plane can refuel in midair. It's built so that it could survive an electromagnetic pulse. Unbelievable. The President inside and his travel companions have 4,000 square feet of space on 3 levels. That's in the front of the plane. That's his quarters. There's, of course, his office, lavatory, conference room, medical suite that can actually function as an operating room if they needed to. There's a doctor permanently on board. There are 2 food galleys that can feed 100 people. And they're going to replace this in 2017. They're getting 2 new ones. And those are going to be those wonderful Boeing 787 Dreamliners.
Right.
So that'll be great to see.
Now, while the President taxis into place here, let's check in with our own Gloria Rodriguez, who's standing outside the airport where the President will soon be departing, headed for what we assume will be Sunnylands. Gloria.
I'm live at Ramon Road near Kirk Douglas Way, and we have a beautiful shot of Air Force One here. Quite a few people have lined up to see the President land, and they were very excited as he landed. A lot of people waved. There's even people across the street and further east, and everybody just wants to catch a glimpse of the President. So we'll stay out here, and hopefully we will catch that glimpse. For now, we're going to send it back to Gino and Hank.
Okay, so here we are. They're about to roll the staircase up to Air Force One. We're expecting the President to come off, and I assume he'd be casual like last time.
We expect so. I think the first thing that came off last time, Gino, you have a good eye, you're a good newsman. The first thing that came off were the golf clubs.
Yeah, that I did notice. The golf clubs came off the back end and straight into one of the SUVs.
I want to correct something I said. I said any plane he's on is Air Force One. It's actually any Air Force plane that he is on is Air Force One.
All right, so now we're awaiting, of course, for the dignitaries to get into place. The crowd a little smaller this time because there's been no public greeting. And there they are. Here comes the presidential golf clubs. Once again, the first thing off the plane.
There it is. Very good, Gino. A good eye once again.
He's got 4 sets, so it looks like he'll be going out with a foursome today.
Oh, interesting.
The door has opened up, and the staircase is being rolled into place for the President to deboard and step right down into the desert heat. Now, we've talked about it, Hank. Some people just absolutely love the heat, and this President, no exception.
Well, you and I must like it. We live here, and he loves it. Of course, he grew up in Hawaii, and we're not too dissimilar from Hawaii. Michelle Obama, First Lady, is not with him today. She and the children and her mother are in Europe on a tour, so he's going to spend Father's Day alone here. I think he was here Valentine's Day alone, too, wasn't
he? He was this past Valentine's Day, but the whole
something
family,
about those holidays. It just, I don't know.
Well, you know, the first family has to do what they can do when they can do it.
Absolutely.
And if the family's on a trip to Europe and you're in Los Angeles and San Francisco, why not swing by, meet your pals, and play a couple of rounds of golf and then get back to work Sunday night?
And you raise a good point about his schedule. He was in Los Angeles 2 days ago. He was in San Francisco yesterday. He addressed the U.S. Conference of Mayors. he did talk about the tragedy, the shooting that happened, and let's hope that he can enjoy himself and really get away from all the breaking news. For at least for a few hours here in the Valley.
Yeah, and you've talked about it a lot. It doesn't really matter, frankly, geographically, where the president is. He is the president.
He is
and
indeed.
is on the job 24/7, regardless of what he's doing or where he's doing it.
Yeah, I mean, this airplane is a rolling White House, and so are the vehicles, and certainly before he stays any place, they set up every communication device that they have. So he's always the president.
Yeah, and you can see from the back of the plane also the traveling press has now deplaned as well, and they'll be making their way to the press van, which is a white van over there that the press travels in. So even though there's no official business in this 26-hour stay in the Coachella Valley, and here comes the president now.
There he is, looking cash.
Virtually the same outfit as last time, khakis.
That's right.
Shirt with no necktie, and getting ready to play some golf.
Saluting, he's got a great jaunt as he comes down those stairs. The vehicle is blocking us, but we know that he's meeting Rancho Mirage Mayor Dana Hobart, Agua Caliente Tribal Chairman Jeff Gruby, and Congressman Raul Ruiz right now. Nobody from Palm Springs here, even though the airport is in Palm Springs, but they chose not to be here, I guess.
Well, and it is summer too, and the crowds are smaller this time as well, and it's a very warm day. And there was some thought that the president might cancel with the smoke from the Big Bear fire and the extreme heat, that maybe he would choose not to come here again, but apparently no hesitation. And again, it just must simply be he's one of those people that loves the desert heat.
Yeah, and here he goes. That was quick. All right, we see him coming around.
Here comes the president now. He's coming around. Oh, he's going to come meet the babies.
He is going to meet Dr. Ruiz's family. His two twins named Sky and Sage.
That's right. So the president, though, no official rope line this time.
How about it? This was
unexpected.
unexpected.
Is coming over to meet the babies of Dr. Raul Ruiz and his wife. They're bringing the babies around, and well, this is unexpected. We didn't think the president was going to come to the rope line because there is no crowd here.
The photographers love this. This is a shot they didn't expect to get.
Well, he's literally kissing babies.
Oh, look at that.
He is.
Last time there was a good collection of onlookers.
Yeah. Well, and kids as well. And it's certainly, like any good politician, affinity for the young ones.
Yeah. It's nice of him to spend a few minutes talking to people.
So the president there meeting Sky and Sage Ruiz, the twins of Congressman Ruiz of the 36th District here in the Coachella Valley. Taking a couple of minutes to say hi to Mrs. Ruiz as well.
We're going to talk to Congressman Ruiz actually live here in just a minute.
We're going to grab him right now and talk to him about what the president had to say as he makes his way into the Suburban, which of course will be in the motorcade that'll make its way, what we're assuming is, to the closest golf course, or to Sunnylands.
Right, or it could be, he's also, you've noted in the past, Gino, he sometimes plays at Larry Ellison's private Porcupine Creek.
He does indeed. In fact,
Sunnylands is a nine-hole course. You can play it as 18.
You absolutely play it as 18, and we're told that Sunnylands is actually one of its favorite courses. And I'll be honest with you, as a golfer, it's a little more forgiving than Porcupine Creek.
Is that right?
So if he's like most golfers, we like to play where it's a little more forgiving. All right, again.
And of course, the Secret Service loves both of those places. They can close them off.
They're secure.
They're private.
Yeah, they're absolutely
One
secure.
of the reasons they love the Secret Service loves coming here is because it's not like dealing with L.A. traffic or San Francisco traffic. They can get them in and out, not too disruptive.
Right.
Really.
Especially in June.
Especially in June.
In June.
Tell the president he can get into any restaurant he wants.
That's right.
There is no problem in the valley.
That is exactly right.
This time of year.
Anyway, so the president's in his vehicle now, and the motorcade is lining up. And we're hoping to get Congressman Ruiz. Congressman Ruiz any minute now.
Right.
Also, outside, people are waiting to see the presidential motorcade as it makes its way out of the airport and into the downtown area. And we'll check in with Gloria Rodriguez. She's there live, and she's going to let you see the motorcade as it goes by. It's in motion now, and the crowds as it makes its way out of the airport and onto Ramon Road, making its way, what again we assume at this point is Sunnylands, to play a round of golf. All right, the motorcade is en route. Let's check in with Gloria Rodriguez, who's on the other side of the gate. Gloria, are you seeing the motorcade coming your way?
Hey, so we are waiting for the motorcade right now. We're getting word that it should pass by us any minute now. Police have blocked off Ramon Road going west, so cars are not able to come on Ramon Road. Of course, they are getting ready for the presidential motorcade, and you can see right now traffic is stopped at Ramon Road and Kirk Douglas Way, and there are quite a few people here lined up waiting to catch a glimpse of the motorcade up close and personal. We did get to see Air Force One landing here, so that was a beautiful view. And of course now everybody again wants to see the president pass by. Traffic again stopped here at Ramon Road near Kirk Douglas Way. We don't know exactly where the president is headed, but in the past he's stayed at Sunnylands. He's also stayed at Thunderbird Estates, both in Rancho Mirage. So most likely he will be passing by us here and then going east on Ramon Road, and then most likely heading to Rancho Mirage. But again, at this point, we don't know exactly where he is staying, but we will stand by and check it out. And right now, we are going to continue to look at the motorcade because it is coming down from the airport. So you can see several SUVs descending from the airport. Many police cars in attendance, also a lot of Secret Service, as you can imagine, out here. And you'll see right now some motorcades coming by, a police motorcycle leading that motorcade. And then you'll see some police officials coming by, also those SUVs that we talked about, also accompanying the president. And you can see also the crowds of people waiting to see President Barack Obama, at least through one of those SUVs. Quite a scene out here. A lot of people taking pictures of the motorcade. A lot of people waving, really just hoping to at least see President Barack Obama through the glass there. We're not sure exactly which vehicle he's in at this point, but we are keeping a close eye to hopefully see President Barack Obama. This is definitely a combined effort between the Palm Springs Police Department, Secret Service, other police agencies here in the Coachella Valley. You also have paramedics accompanying the presidential motorcade, making sure that everybody stays on track. There's also a bus there, and I was told earlier that Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz was on one of the buses waiting to say hello to President Barack Obama. CHP also is out here. So we'll stay out here for you, bring you the very latest. And of course, you're seeing now the presidential motorcade on Ramon Road, heading east, going towards the Rancho Mirage area. Right now, it looks like they are taking a right on Gene Autry Trail, so we will stay with the motorcade and see where they are headed. But again, traffic stopped right now in both directions. Ramon Road completely blocked off between Vela and Gene Autry. And of course, we'll stay here, and we're going to toss it back to Hank and Gino right now.
Joining us now, Congressman and Mrs. Ruiz, and the beautiful twins, Sky and Sage. Thanks for joining us real quick. Congressman, the president came over to see your babies.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful first Father's Day for me, and I think it will forever be recorded in our family's memory.
What did the president say?
He saw how adorable they were and just wanted to hold one of them and thanked us for bringing them out in this desert heat.
And which one did he hold?
He held Sky. Yeah, so we're going to have to explain that to Sage later on.
Yeah, you are. Well, you get a couple more years to get a picture with Sage.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
So, you better.
What did you say to him when you saw him?
You know, I said I hope he enjoys his weekend. We always like that he comes here to the desert and he spends some time with us. It's good for our community, and I also asked him for some fatherly advice for a first-time father, and I'll keep that one to myself.
No, you're going to have to tell us.
Some things you just keep.
That's right, I suppose. Now, when he comes off on something like this, do you talk politics at all, or is it strictly,
sometimes I do, and I have in the past. This time, I just wanted him to have a good weekend.
Right. Did you mention to him at all about the heat? Why he comes in June?
He came and the first time it was 114. Now it's 98, and so he says, hey, it's not that bad. Yeah. So he's learning. He's learning that it's all relative.
Do you think that he'll by one of his homes here when they leave?
You know, I hope he does. You know, I hope he does.
You ever talk to him about that? Or?
No, I have not.
Yeah?
No.
Well, maybe you want to prime the pump a little bit. Put in a plug. What do you think, Mr. Ruiz?
It'd always be nice to have him come out here. It would be amazing.
All right. Congressman, Mr. Reese, thank you. You want to get the babies out of the heat. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything. Those babies into air conditioning. All right, coming up in just a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about, well, Congressman Ruiz mentioned that sometimes he mentions politics, but for the most part, it's strictly social. How you doing, Mr. President? Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's not a time to talk politics, although, you know what happened? We're going to talk to the tribal chairman here in a second. This can be the first meeting before the political meeting. My hunch is that the tribal chairman probably met him this way first, because I think the chairman had a private meeting with him during one of these.
Let's find out.
Find
Tribal Chairman Jeff Gruby joins us now. Thank you for joining us, sir.
To see you.
So, this is not your first time with the president.
No, but it's my first time being heated by these lamps. Man, it's hot over here.
It adds to the heat,
It does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What did you say to him? You greeted him as he came off the plane?
I just said welcome back to our home and good to see you, Mr. President. And he gave me a hug and said he was anxious to get out there and start golfing. It wasn't too bad, too hot for him.
He's going right to the course.
I would assume so.
Did he mention which course?
No.
He didn't say? No.
I wouldn't tell you anyway.
Yeah. Now, you actually had a private meeting with him on one of the previous visits. Is that right? Or?
I did. I met with him with 10 other tribal leaders in the White House in the Roosevelt Room.
I see. How did that go?
It was great. It's an honor to be able to represent my tribe and other tribal leaders, to sit down with him and talk about issues that he has a very good understanding of, and he goes back and forth, asks questions, and it was great. I mean,
what are some of the concerns that you wanted to get to the president's attention?
At that time, I really thanked him for the cabinet people that he selected and put in position. I thanked him for his administration, because those people are the people that we work with on a daily basis, and it's a good government-to-government relationship, and they respect the tribe, and they may not always agree with us, but there's that respect where we can sit down and talk to each other on issues.
It's exciting meeting a president, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I never get jaded about this stuff. I mean, I've been in this position many times and interviewed presidents. Gino has, but I'm always excited about it.
It's an honor. I mean, he's our president, you know, greatest country in the world, and whether you're a Democrat or Republican, he's our president, and I respect him very much.
And when Air Force One's sitting on the runway at our airport, what do you think it does for the Valley?
It brings more attention. I mean, this is a very unique place to come visit, live, hang out. You know, that not a whole lot of communities are like this in the country.
Yeah, and you grew up here.
Absolutely.
So you've seen a lot of presidents come here. I mean, this is a big deal, right?
It is, and for him this is the first time that a seated president's actually invited our tribe to come and greet him on the tarmac. And
is that right?
It is, and President Obama's invited me every time he's landed. I've had an invite.
I wondered how that works. So that invitation comes from the White House?
Yes, it does.
Excellent.
It does.
All right, Tribal Chairman Jeff Gruby, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Go ahead, let's get you out of the heat here. Thanks for stopping by. It's heavy lifting. All right, and real quick, we've got Rancho Mirage Mayor Dana Hobart standing by. Mr. Mayor, if you wouldn't mind, just one or two quick questions for you. Tell us real quick what you said to the president, what he had to say to you.
Well, I first welcomed him on behalf of the city of Rancho Mirage and gave him a pin, the Rancho Mirage pin, like this one. Figured every president should have one, I said to him.
Lots of them have.
And lots of them have. I said, if in case you play Porcupine Creek, let me know how close to birdieing hole 15, I think is the number. You tee off high and you hit low. Let me know how close you come. I said I came close, a couple inches, but no birdie.
He sounds like a golfer.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah, no, I was close.
There's a rich history in Rancho Mirage, hosting presidents, and that's your nickname, right?
Well, the playground of presidents, coined during the era that Walter and Lenore Annenberg were bringing presidents after presidents here, and that's continued now and sort of has a new beginning, and we're awfully glad of it. The estate is, as you know, is a fantastic locale. I don't know if presidents stay there anymore or not, But
President Obama has.
Yeah.
well, he did before it. Has he stayed there
Stayed there,
since?
yeah.
they-
No, I'll tell you why.
Sure, when the
I'll tell you
Chinese
why I
president
know-
of China was there.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you know why? Because they wheel in a big TV in the master bedroom when he stays there. That's what they told me at Sunnylands.
I heard that too.
When he stays there in the master,
Right.
what was the Annenberg's master, they wheel in a big TV for him, which was not there.
Fantastic.
And certainly, if the Obamas were to buy a place at Thunderbird Heights, that'd be good for Rancho Mirage.
Well, we think so, and we certainly are encouraging it, and we're letting them know. Well, we did talk a little bit about the weather, and let them know that this is good. Even this is supposedly a hot time out here in the desert, but as you can see, it's not bad. It's nice.
When you say you're encouraging him to buy a place here,
Yes.
how are you doing that?
Well, encouraging him through the golfing exercise. I do know the house that they supposedly are looking at, and it's a fantastic home. The fellow that owned it before, who died, was a marvelous fellow, and he had introduced me to the house.
Wait a minute, they're looking at a house here now?
I don't know if they're looking or not. There are rumors, and I want to make sure that I'm not stating a fact. I am only reasserting rumors.
Right.
Because I do not know. And I suppose if I knew, they would have to shoot me.
Yeah, they would. All right. Rancho Mirage Mayor Dana Hobart, thank you, sir, for stopping by.
Pleasure.
Let's get you out of the heat. Thank
Great.
you.
Nice
I really
to see you
appreciate
guys.
it.
Cheers, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, so President Obama en route to a golf course. We assume Sunnylands. It's where he's gone in the past. Air Force One behind us here on the tarmac in Palm Springs.
And of course, the great thing for your viewers is they can come down here to the airport and get wonderful pictures
Yep.
from the perimeter of this gorgeous plane that'll be sitting here through tomorrow afternoon.
All right. For Hank Plant, I'm Gino Lamont. That concludes our coverage. We're going to send you back to your regularly scheduled program, but of course, tune in tonight at 6 o'clock for the KMIR News for a complete wrap of the President's all too brief visit to the Coachella Valley. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Special news coverage of President Obama in the Valley.